And thank you so much for joining us today on MBC Live. It is good to be back with you. And here we are in our continuously dry, undisclosed location.
Yes.
Very grateful that it is dry and we're drying out. And I am joined across the table here from our illustrious, esteemed, the Right Reverend Bishop, youth pastor, something like that. What other adjective could I use?
I don't know. That was a good number.
Pastor Josh. Good to see you, Brother Josh.
Good to be here. Good to finally make it. I did not make it Thursday. So.
Yeah, slacker.
Yeah.
Something about, your Subaru wouldn't go in four-wheel drive or something.
It didn't have the boat mod that I needed to make it.
I would take it back. I would take it back because
this is an adventure car. Right?
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right. It should go anywhere.
Yeah,
it should go anywhere. So obviously, what we're referring to is the rough day we had here Thursday. Everybody had around here. It was pretty bad. We met. It was National Day of Prayer, so one of the first things we did was we had the 7 a.m. prayer meeting for those, and we had a handful who came, and we were getting started and praying, and the bottom fell out. I mean, it was crazy, and then it just rained and rained and rained. And as a matter of fact, I was told that some places between here and Conroe got like 12 inches of rain Thursday.
Yeah.
Jerry Bontrager, our maintenance supervisor, said that here we were right around 9 inches of rain. So
and very quickly.
Very quickly.
Like part of it is.
So the running joke that we've had at Memorial, and it was here long before I got here, but it has continued on, is that we have times that when we have days like that, we have lake memorials, what they call it, because our parking lot becomes a lake. However, Thursday, I don't know that we could call it Lake Memorial. I think we're going to call it MBC River or Memorial River. As a matter of fact, Brother Josh got some pictures you can see of what it looked like. I mean, look at there, because and look at that.
That one looks crazy.
Yeah, there's a current.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, in that picture, you can't even see the ditch anymore.
Right. The curb, nothing.
No, it's all gone.
Yeah.
And people were driving through. We were trying to get out of here pretty early. I was trying to get everybody to just get on home before they can't. And I know if you look right there to the right a little bit, that's the planter boxes right there in our driveway. And I know when Judy left, she's pushing through. I mean, it was up to her bumper trying to get out. When I left, I turned right there, right where you see. I went right and went out the construction exit.
And there was like a river on, because that's where I got to. I came to the front. I was like, I don't know, this is concerning. Then I went to the side thinking that'll be okay. But it was like you said, there's a current that was just pushing through.
It was.
I just sat there and I was like, I don't think I'm doing this. So.
Well, and I don't blame you because number one, your car is kind of low down. So is Judy's. Yeah. Judy's is probably even lower than yours.
Yeah.
And but mine's higher up off the ground. And Kevin Horn was behind me. He's got his truck. So, but when I got to the end of that construction road, I was turned right on Boudreaux. There was one car just turned on to Boudreaux from Kirkendall, and I didn't even slow down. I just kept right on easing out on there because I was afraid if I stopped, I'd spin or couldn't go again because you couldn't see anything for the last 10 feet of that road. It was all covered. So I turned right on Boudreaux, went up to Spring Cypress, and I thought about turning left to make my way to Kirkendall on the other side of 99, but there was a car stalled right under the overpass.
Yep.
All you could see is headlights. And so I said, no. I went on up to 2920 and went home that way. But one of the craziest days I think I've seen since I've lived, of course, I wasn't here during Harvey, so I didn't get to see all of that. But one of the craziest days I've seen since I've lived in Spring.
Yep.
And so, lots and lots of water. And, we wound up not having service yesterday. I'll come back to that in a second. Or we didn't have on-campus service yesterday. And so I've had lots of texts from different people of, Did the church sustain damage? Did water get in the building? And thankfully, what we had happened was, as far as the buildings are concerned, minimal. So, we have those really nice flower beds right up against the building, and there was one spot where the water just built up. It kind of seeped in under the wall, or through the wall rather, seeped in. And then the big windows up front, we've had issues at time or two in the past, and the last couple of years, we've not had any problem, but I don't think we've had it quite like what we had. We've had some pretty bad storms, but Thursday was pretty rough. So yes, some water came through those windows and leaked down, but really nothing we can't clean up and fix, as far as that goes. But the main thing that we had, of course, you saw, go back to that one more time, brother, if you will. Main thing you see is the parking lot there. Now, by Saturday morning, most of that was gone. There was just places where the grates, so if you look kind of right dead center, there's a drainage grate, and it was all kind of down to there, like 4 sections. But on the north end, which would be from that picture to the left, on the north end, it was still fairly full. Our detention pond was completely full.
Right.
And so, number one, the forecast for Sunday was still a lot of rain. Now, I don't think we wound up getting as much Sunday as what they anticipated.
And I think that was part of the issue is they didn't really know, even Thursday.
Yes.
I think it went more than what they were expecting.
And
that's
Friday
kind of what
too.
they said. Yeah, it was like, we don't really know what's going to happen, which is always fun to hear.
Well, I guess on one side, you could say, well, thank you, because because they're going to be wrong no matter what.
Yeah.
If it happens more than what they say or less than what they say, weathermen are unpredictable. They can't predict. Well, it's the weather. There's a lot of elements that have to come together. So Sunday it still stormed, but it wasn't anywhere near what we anticipated. But on Saturday, you don't know that.
Right.
But I think the biggest issue, and this is what caused us all, because it wasn't just me who made this decision. I called several of our church leaders. I got together with Brother Jerry Bontrager, and we were putting our heads together regarding the conditions that we have right now, or right then, and what could happen on Sundays. Because what the weatherman, because he and I just watched it on Saturday, that there was a 5:30 a.m. storm which happened, and it went through fairly quickly, but then it still rained quite a bit. But then Sunday afternoon did not develop as what they originally had thought. But so we were concerned we didn't want to see that picture happen again.
Yeah.
And our people either stuck or especially some of our senior adults trying to tread water to get out. So that was number one. And again, I had a consensus. I called several of our leaders and just said, hey, here's what we're dealing with. Give me some wisdom here. And the biggest thing, and it really did play out to be exactly true, and that was our septic system. So when it floods like that, and all this water starts inundating our septic system, the alarms are going off, lights are flashing. So even if we had say 200 people Sunday come, and they're all trying to use the restroom, and that septic system is already inundated with water, it's got nowhere to go. And that mess would be worse than the mess we're dealing with, So Sunday morning when I got here, obviously what we did is we decided to just do an online service just to be safe, to be cautious. When I got here Sunday morning, the parking lot wasn't bad. The north end was still pretty full. There was still a lot of water there. But people could have made it. The septic system, however, was much worse Sunday morning than even it was Saturday.
Yeah.
So, I know for myself as a leader, you're always second guessing, especially a Sunday service. I don't like to cancel those. I don't like to do what we did. But as far as just having to make that decision, it's not a fun decision to try to make because you're guessing. Yeah. You're trying to decide, here are our set of circumstances. Here's potential. Here's what could happen. And some of it happened, some of it didn't. But in the end, we were very glad we didn't have people coming into the building other than what had to be here to make the online service happen. Because the septic had nowhere to go. There was no drainage there. So if people don't know our situation, Memorial has been here at Kirkendall for right at 20 years, maybe a little. I think it was 2003 or so, 2005, somewhere in that neighborhood where the buildings were built and moved in. So, we're pushing 20 years. And when we came, nothing was here. One of these Mondays, I'm going to bring those pictures or get you to scan those pictures and let the people see, especially those who are new to this area or new to this church, what this place looked like. If you look at a picture from when they built the original building, there's nothing here. There's no 99. Right. Kirkendall is 2-lane. Matter of fact, it had just been paved. You just saw the pavement, the asphalt that was going down. You just saw that. There was one picture where you can see they've got warning signs of, fresh tar. And so nothing was here. So we're still on our well system that was originally installed there. Mm-hmm. So we're not on city water. We're not on city sewer. We're still on what was built in those days. Yeah. So when the septic system fills up, we have sprayers that are in the back 40, pumping all that once it's gone through the process, pumping all that out of here. Well, it's more than it could handle when it's full like that, and when the drainage backs up, so it starts seeping in. Yeah. So that brings us to why we didn't, because we were asking, was there damage? Was the church flooded? Can we come help? And number one, thank you, church family. What a blessing you are. Be willing to come and get in the middle of all that, but very minimal. Again, it was, I think, in the Welcome Center, right outside or right inside rather, to where the flower bed goes around the side. Some water seeped in there. Yeah. Had some coming in from the windows, but other than that,
those are pretty normal, unfortunately.
Yes, sadly.
But even then, it's been a long time since the parking lot got like that. I mean,
that bad. Yes.
Kirkendall was 1 lane pretty much, because when I got here, I was in the middle lane, like that was my lane, because the water was so far up. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, it just hadn't been like that. So.
Well, and we've got several things going on. So if people ask, well, if people are aware, we've been dealing with this really for years, but that's for me. Now, again, people who've been at Memorial much longer than me, you may even know, I've never seen it that deep. I've seen it full. I've seen it, look like the lake. I've never seen it look like a river. And this is the first time I've seen the river effect.
Yeah, that felt like a first for me.
I've heard somebody else say, who's lived in this area, that they saw flooding and water in places that they never recall, even with Harvey. They didn't recall seeing some of those. We had a couple of things going on. One of the things the church is working on is by mandate of the county, we have to get our detention pond and our water reservoir up to code. So we've been behind on that, and that's something we've had an engineer working on, and we are just now to the place where we're ready to present that to the church here in the next month or so. We meet next week with the engineer to kind of get his next steps. But so, there'll come a point where there's some things going to resolve for us. Obviously, they're building and constructing north of us, which I think contributed to, because I don't think they've got their water stuff under control.
They're still pumping stuff, and
I think they're still, because they're under construction. So so anyway, I think that contributed to a whole lot. But you'll be hearing more from us soon on that. On our, I get confused sometimes. I've heard it retention pond, detention pond, but it is something the county requires us to have for our drainage water from storms like that. So we'll be talking about that. So that all that discussion led to, we had an online service only yesterday at 10:45, and very grateful for Sarah Magdiel and my wife, and then Jimmy Bradshaw and Kevin Horn and John Arthur. How do you say his last name? Oh, yeah, got you, didn't I see it.
Fiala,
yeah. So John Arthur, all we ever call him is John Arthur.
I know.
You know who you are. And his sweet mom came to be with us, came with him. But they all helped us do the online service. Very grateful for them. And it was a unique moment. Obviously, it brought COVID flashbacks. Right. Because during COVID, Sarah Magdiel, Sandra, and myself, we all did this Sunday after Sunday, as I know Memorial did during those days. I wasn't here during COVID, but I know that's a lot of churches doing those kinds of things. So it kind of brought that back. But it was unique yesterday because it's different. We're back there. I don't know if y'all could notice if you were watching online, but we would go from camera to camera. We've never practiced all that because on Sundays we're just live, and however the camera catches me because I'm preaching to those who are in the congregation. Yeah. And so if you're live streaming, you're kind of just watching what's going on, and we want you to join in and be a part. Mm-hmm. Well, when you're live streaming only, online only, well, then I'm looking at the camera. I'm talking to the camera. Mm-hmm. And so there were times they were from the singing to the preaching, they're adjusting one camera. So, y'all couldn't see this all behind the scenes. He'd be pointing camera,
which camera?
Over here. So I would make sure I'm looking over there. And when they get it adjusted, point over here. So we go back and forth. But something that's unique, we just sensed the Holy Spirit working, even as we were singing, just felt the Lord blessing, and we were worshiping. And as I was preaching, I could just sense the Lord speaking. And I'm talking to the people on camera because there's only a handful of people in the room. Yeah. And yet we just felt the Lord blessing it. And cool. So it was really neat. And thank the Lord for that ability. It's not something I saw a few people say this yesterday and today. It's not something I want to do every Sunday. Yeah. Although I did say to the crew once we signed off, I said, "Hey, look, we're done and out at 10 till 12. They're never coming back to church. They're going to do online only from now on." But there's just something about the family of God getting together, though, and that is something we missed, and missed getting to be with people, missed the choir singing, missed all the children interaction, all the things that go on in a normal Sunday. But thank God that we had this ability on moments like. Otherwise, we'd have had nothing yesterday. Right. It had just been, sorry, y'all, we're not having church today. I did know because we have some friends over there. Champion Forest had online issues, so they actually couldn't do live stream yesterday. They had only their in-person services when we were total opposite. We couldn't do in-person. We had online only. So very thankful that we were able to. Technology allows us to do that, and we were thankful that the storm wasn't bad enough to knock power out. Otherwise, that would have been a secondary issue. So anyway, all that it made for an interesting.
It's like you said, days. It's been a weird. Hadn't felt like 4 days kind of a thing.
Yeah,
so
it really hasn't. And I don't know when I have paid any more attention to the weather. Even Sunday morning, I'm getting up and I'm kind of going through everything for the day and studying and just praying the Lord bless it. But just watching, I have a little NOAA weather radio that I have played in my office at my house, and it wasn't long. It's going off, severe thunderstorm warning. So anyway, there it was. There was our recount of the weekend. So there it is. So hopefully everything's back on track. We're going to dry out this week. Wednesday night we'll be back to normal. Hopefully next Sunday everything's back to normal. So even though it's supposed to rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next week, but they're not showing anything at all like what we've just experienced. So we're going to have a good week.
Well, we get a taste of summer this week, right? We get that weird heat wave. So
So I haven't looked at it today. Did you say we're going to hit the 90s this week? I
think that's what I saw was the 90s. And then you said McAllen and stuff. They'll be in the hundreds.
Yeah. So something really weird. Now, we lived in McAllen, Texas, about 9 years. And it's just hot. Yeah. I think Sarah Maggs, they went back to the Valley for some event this past weekend and came back saying it's just hot down there. And it is. It's just hot. We had a 100-degree day in January one year. And that, that's just not right. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. So, I was telling Brother Josh that I happened to pull it up and noticed that Thursday it's 108 in McAllen. And Wednesday, 98, Thursday, 108, Friday, 89. It drops. So, there's this weird thing. So we're getting a little taste of summer. And I will just tell you now, I'm not ready.
No.
Not ready. I'm loving the 60s, 70s, 80s that we've been having for the last several weeks. I'm loving it. Not ready for the heat, but ready or not, right? It's still Houston, Texas.
Doesn't care what you.
It really doesn't care.
Like.
That's right. It's coming. So speaking of getting back to normal, I want to remind you of a couple of things. We have some events coming up this week, and hopefully we won't have that again.
No.
Praying to the Lord not to have that again. So Wednesday, we have a special night this coming Wednesday night. Awanas is having their Grand Prix, and I am so excited about that. Awana has been something that we wanted, we prayed for. It was one of my goals, and God provided. So last October, we began our first year of Awana in several years. And so very excited about that. So we are having the Grand Prix this Wednesday night, 6:30. We're going to be in Gym A. The youth are providing concessions for the night. And I will be sharing the gospel sometime during the night to all those that are there. And we invite you to come. Now, again, I think I said this Sunday if you were watching. If you're a parent, we need you to be there. All right, it's really not optional. You need to come watch that and be a part of it. Please come and be a part of that. All others that are on campus, you're invited. We'd love for you to come. The prayer meeting or the Bible study that we normally have in the sanctuary will be in Gym A because we won't be doing that. We're going to go to the Grand Prix and watch all that take place. So that is Wednesday night. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun night. I can't wait to see all that happen. So that brings us to Sunday because we're here, Brother Josh. It's hard to believe we're here, Mother's Day.
Yes.
So, y'all, if it snuck up on you, you got a little fair warning. It's time to get ready for Mother's Day. Go get ready to take care of Mom. Here at Memorial Baptist Church, we'll be having our third annual Muffins with Mom in Gym B, directly behind the sanctuary. This will be in lieu of Sunday school, so we're not have a regular Sunday school time, but we'll be in the gym. Moms, invite your kids. Kids, invite your mom if they don't come to Memorial Baptist Church, and invite your family. Come and let's just celebrate Mom together this Sunday. I do want to remind you that if you would like a picture or a couple of pictures of you and your mom, then you can go to our website, mbchouston.org, and click on the homepage, the Muffins with Mom logo. It will take you to a place where you can upload, please, no more than 2 pictures. You can do 2, but if we get a lot more than 2, we're going to have a hard time getting them on there. So if you give us more than 2, we're going to limit it to 2.
Yeah. And another thing with that, we did, because of the uploading, if you don't have a Gmail, it's not going to work. So you can just simply email Josh Matthias at mbchouston.org. And same thing, 2 pictures. If you need to do separate emails, that's totally fine. But we ran into that issue where if you didn't have that Gmail, it was preventing you from doing that. So that's kind of the workaround.
Gotcha. So they can just email Josh Matthias.
Yep.
At mbchouston.org.
Yep.
Okay. So, be sure and do that. And we'll have those ready to roll on Sunday. We're going to have a wonderful time celebrating Mom. And again, that is in lieu of Sunday school. So we'll have the 8 o'clock service. Then we'll have the celebration of Muffins with Mom. Then we'll have the 10:45 service. And looking forward to being back in the Lord's house with everybody. And what a great day to do it. Coming up soon, May 18th, which is a week from this coming Saturday, the men's and boys breakfast, 8:30 a.m. And then on May 19th, the Sunday week, we will be having our couple of things. We have Meet Memorial, which is for those who have joined or are considering joining, and it's basically a church membership class. I will do my best to answer every question you have maybe even not even thought about Memorial Baptist Church.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's exactly right. I want to answer any question you may have and answer the ones that maybe you haven't even thought of yet. So if that's you, please make plans to attend. It's during the Sunday School Hour on May 19th. In Cafe B, directly behind the sanctuary. I'll be teaching that, leading that class. Invite you to come. May 19th is also our Senior Recognition Sunday. And Brother Josh will be preaching that day, and we'll be honoring those who are graduating high school as well as those who are graduating college. Any instructions on that?
So basically for that, there is a form on the church website again in the events tab that you can go to. Kind of the same issue, but basically I need to know certain information, which that form is there to ask those questions. We are doing a breakfast that morning for the graduates and their immediate family. So that's why it's important to sign up so we know how much food to have. And then any of the graduates that are being recognized to sit on the front row so we can quickly get through everybody. And then the last thing to keep in mind is in the Welcome Center. Is that what we call it?
Yes.
Different names, right?
That's his new name.
Yeah. In the Welcome Center, we do have a table set up for each of the graduates, and it's just kind of like an about me or different awards, accolades, all of those kinds of things that you can put a display with pictures and all that good stuff. And so those are the main things that we'll be doing, and then we'll be recognizing just during the 10:45 service. So
gotcha. Yes, 10:45 service. So it's going to be a great day. And but Brother Josh will be preaching in both services, 8 a.m. and 10:45, even though the graduates will be in the 10:45 service. So he's going to let it rip, huh?
Yep, we'll see.
All right. Sounds great. One last thing I want to mention to you, coming up toward the end of the month, May 22nd, it's a Wednesday night. We're going to be having the Voices of Mobile in concert. And that'll be at 6:30 p.m. that night. We're inviting everybody to come. Awana will still be going on that night, but then everybody else, please come and be a part. Listen, you don't want to miss this group. They are not only talented, can sing the house down, but they are they lead us in a time of worship. It's not just about entertainment at all. It's about worshiping the Lord, and they are fantastic. So invite you to be here. We will be receiving a love offering that night just to be a blessing to them, and they travel all over the country singing and sharing what the Lord has done in their lives. And Dr. Roger Breland, who, as I've mentioned before, really just a legend in this field and leading groups like this. And he's been, I think, with Voice of Mobile for like 20 plus years. And you're going to be blessed by them. You don't want to miss it. So make plans. That Wednesday night, May 22nd, Voices of Mobile in concert. That's all I've got on my mind today. Brother Josh, anything else on your mind?
That's it.
All right. Well, so once again, thank you for joining us on MBC Live. And we look forward to seeing you in God's house Wednesday night, Sunday morning. Can't wait to be together again. So God bless you. Hope you have a great day.